Beloved, chosen one, it's time to recognize the quiet power that has been quietly shaping you. For a while now, you've walked through seasons that felt like nothing was happening. The world around you seemed to be moving, advancing, and achieving while you stood still, waiting, wondering if your time would ever come. You may have questioned, why does it feel like nothing is changing in my life? Why does it seem like I'm invisible? Why do I feel like I'm walking alone? And yet, dear one, the truth is that in these quiet moments, heaven has been watching. You have not been unnoticed. You have not been forgotten. The process you have been going through may have felt slow, silent, and even painful, but it has been anything but absent. It is a process of divine refinement, a shaping and molding that is preparing you for the powerful calling that is about to unfold. In this silent walk of faith, you have been undergoing a transformation that few have recognized. You may have felt like you were walking in isolation, surrounded by stillness, while others seem to receive the applause and recognition that you longed for. But God sees what the world doesn't see. Heaven has been honoring your quiet faith, your endurance, and your surrender. Every step you have taken in silence has been a step towards something greater, something profound, that only you in your stillness could achieve. This transformation has been internal, quietly reshaping your spirit, fortifying your heart, and strengthening your trust in God. You see, the stillness you've experienced is not a sign of abandonment, nor is it a punishment. It is a vital part of God's design for you. What felt like emptiness was actually a deep and holy work being done beneath the surface. The quietness in your life has not been an absence of purpose, but a preparation for what is to come. The world measures progress by visible action, by applause, by the big moments that everyone can see. But heaven measures progress by the depth of your soul, the depth of your faith, and the growth that happens when no one is watching. The transformation you've been undergoing has been slow, but it has been steadfast, like the hidden growth of a tree's roots beneath the soil. You couldn't see it, but God has been laying a foundation in you that will support something far greater than you could have imagined. The paradox here is that the stillness you have felt is not emptiness, but the deepest work of refinement. God, in His infinite wisdom, has allowed you to walk through a season of quiet, not to withhold blessings from you, but to prepare you for what He is about to do in your life. This quiet season has been like a furnace, a refining fire that burns away the impurities in your spirit, the doubts in your heart, and the distractions in your mind. The fire has not been meant to destroy you, but to define you. Every moment you felt like you were standing still, every prayer you thought went unanswered, every tear that went unseen. These were the very moments when God was working deeply within you, strengthening you, purifying your faith, and preparing you for a divine purpose that would not have been possible without this inner transformation. It's important to understand that transformation rarely happens in the spotlight. When we are in the midst of a process of deep change, the world around us may not recognize the significance of what is happening. They may not see the prayers whispered in the dark, the tears shed in silence, or the quiet victories won in solitude. But heaven sees, God sees. And every moment of quiet faith has been shaping you into a vessel of divine purpose. You have been learning to trust in God's timing, to surrender your own plans, and to allow His hand to guide you through the process of becoming who you were always meant to be. The quietness you've endured has been preparing you for a life that will not be about external validation or applause, but about walking in your divine calling with the quiet authority that only comes from being deeply rooted in faith. You have been hidden for a reason, and this time of hiddenness has been sacred. God has been protecting you from distractions, from premature exposure, from the noise that could have drowned out the clarity He has been giving you in this season. The light that is being cultivated within you is not for show, It is for purpose. The transformation happening in your life is a quiet one, but its impact will echo through eternity. So if you have wondered whether God has forgotten you, whether your walk of faith has been in vain, let this be the moment when you realize that your quiet transformation is not an absence, it is a process of divine preparation. You have been walking through the fire, and though it may have felt painful, it was never meant to harm you. It was meant to refine you, to purify you, and to prepare you for the greater things that lie ahead. The quiet fire you have walked through is the fire that forges character, faith, and purpose. And now, as you stand at the threshold of transformation, remember that the stillness you have experienced has not been a void. It has been the sacred space in which God has been working in you, shaping you into the vessel you are called to be. Heaven has been watching. Your transformation has been noticed. And now, as you emerge from this season of silence, you will begin to see the fruit of the quiet work God has done in you. The quiet walk of faith that has felt lonely, unseen, and uncertain will soon bear fruit that will testify to the strength, depth, and beauty of what has been quietly cultivated in your soul. Your transformation is not just for you. It is for the world that will soon see the light that has been growing inside you. This is the beginning of something greater, chosen one. The quiet fire has not burned you, it has refined you. And now you are ready for what comes next. For so long, you may have felt the sting of isolation and stillness. You have asked yourself time and again, why has God allowed me to walk this path alone? Why have the promises seemed delayed? Why does it feel like every prayer I send out gets lost in the silence of the heavens? The answer, dear one, is that what you have walked through is not the absence of God's presence, but the quiet refinement of your soul. In the moments of silence, God has been closer to you than you could ever have realized. You have not been abandoned nor forgotten. You have been silently prepared, shaped, and refined in ways that will only become clear as you step into the next chapter of your journey. The periods of stillness and the unseen struggles you've experienced were not meant to break you. They were meant to purify your faith, to strip away what was unnecessary, and to reveal what was always meant to shine within you. God's refining process is not one that calls for loud triumphs or outward accolades. Instead, it is often hidden in the silence in the moments when you thought nothing was happening and everything around you seemed to come to a standstill. These quiet seasons have been the holy ground where God has been quietly working in your heart, shaping your faith in ways that are impossible to see with the human eye. Refinement is not a process of destruction, but of restoration. The fire that you walked through, though it felt harsh and sometimes unbearable, was a fire that purified you, making you stronger, more resilient, and more steadfast in your faith. Just as gold is refined in the furnace, so too has your soul been purified through trials, waiting in silence. The pain you felt in those moments was not a punishment, it was a necessary part of the process. God was not allowing you to suffer for no reason. He was using the fire to burn away impurities and to strengthen the foundation of your faith, making it purer and more enduring than ever before. Every time you felt like you were standing still, every time you questioned your worth, every time you thought you couldn't go on, God was in the quiet with you, silently shaping you into who you were always meant to become. The silences you have experienced are not moments of God's absence, but rather His presence in its most potent form. You see, God doesn't always show up in loud, dramatic ways. Sometimes He speaks in the quiet whisper in the stillness of the soul, where nothing is rushing and nothing is moving. That is where real transformation happens. When everything else falls away, when the noise of the world is silenced, that is when you can hear His voice the clearest. And in that silence, He was not absent. He was right there, gently refining your spirit and preparing you for the purpose He had set before you long ago. One of the greatest challenges we face in life is reconciling God's timing with our own expectations. In our fast-paced world, we are taught to measure progress by how quickly we can achieve something. We are told that success is marked by rapid growth, by visibility, by accomplishments that everyone can see and applaud. But God's timing doesn't always fit neatly into these human metrics. The walk of faith often doesn't align with our understanding of speed and visibility. While we are constantly moving, striving, and seeking external validation, God is working in the hidden places, in the quiet moments where we feel unseen and overlooked. This is a hard truth to accept, especially when we see others advancing, achieving their goals, and being recognized for their efforts. It's easy to question why we haven't reached the same milestones or received the same validation. But the truth is that God's plan for you is far more intricate and beautiful than what can be seen on the surface. While the world may measure success by outward appearances, God measures success by the depth of your faith and the strength of your character. The refining process often takes time, and it often requires us to walk in silence before we ever step into the spotlight. In these quiet seasons, it can feel like we are stuck, like we are not moving forward at all. But in reality, God is doing some of His most powerful work in these moments of hiddenness. The process of spiritual growth doesn't happen quickly. It takes time, it takes patience, and it requires us to trust that God is working even when we can't see it. You have been walking through a process that cannot be rushed. God's timing is always perfect, and though it may seem like nothing is happening, something beautiful is being cultivated in your heart that will stand the test of time. The seed that you have been sowing in silence will one day grow into something magnificent, and when it does, you will understand that every moment of waiting was worth it. Faith in the process. It is easy to have faith when everything is going well, when the answers come quickly and the blessings seem to flow effortlessly. But true faith is not just about trusting God when things are going well. It is about trusting Him in the quiet seasons, in the moments when nothing seems to be moving forward. These seasons of stillness and waiting are not wasted time. They are sacred moments where God is teaching you endurance, patience, and trust. These quiet seasons are not the absence of progress, but the preparation for greater things. Endurance is built in the unseen places, in the moments when you feel like giving up, when you feel like your prayers are unanswered, and when the world seems to be moving at a pace you cannot match. But it is in these moments, dear one, that God is building something deep within you. You are learning to trust God not because you can see the outcome, but because you know that His plan is perfect even when you don't understand it. You are learning to stand firm even when nothing seems to be happening. You are learning to trust the process, to trust that God is at work even when you can't see the results. In the quiet, you are being shaped into someone who can carry the weight of the calling that God has placed upon your life. Endurance isn't just about surviving the wait, it's about thriving in it. It's about learning to rest in the process and trust that God is preparing you for something far greater than you can imagine. The endurance you are learning in these quiet seasons will sustain you when the storms come, when the trials seem overwhelming, and when the road ahead seems uncertain. You will be able to look back on these quiet moments and realize that it was in the stillness where God did His most powerful work. Faith, dear one, is not just about belief. It's about trust. It's about trusting God in the quiet, trusting Him in the silence, and knowing that He is at work even when nothing seems to be changing. As you endure the quiet seasons, your faith is being refined, your trust is being deepened, and your spirit is being strengthened. And when the time comes, you will emerge from this season not only stronger, but more aligned with God's divine purpose for your life. In conclusion, the refining fire you have walked through has not been in vain. It has been the process that is shaping you into someone who can carry the weight of God's glory and purpose. The stillness you have felt has not been a void, but a preparation for what is to come. God's timing may not always align with our human expectations, but His timing is always perfect. And in the process, you are learning to trust, to endure, and to rely on God's plan, knowing that He is working in you and through you in ways you cannot yet see. Trust the process, chosen one. It is transforming you into something far greater than you ever imagined. The world often measures success in terms of visibility and outward accomplishments. We are taught to measure progress by the tangible signs of achievement, awards, accolades, recognition, and the applause of others. But in the realm of the divine, success is measured differently. Heaven looks at the depth of your soul, the purity of your faith, and the strength of your character, especially when no one is watching. It's in the quiet, unseen moments that true transformation occurs. It's when the world is not paying attention that the deepest work is being done inside of you. While the world may look at you and see a lack of outward movement, heaven sees something entirely different. Your faith, tested and refined in private, is growing into something beautiful. The endurance you are developing in these quiet, unseen seasons is a testament to your strength. You may feel as though you are standing still, waiting for the recognition or the results that others seem to have easily achieved. But this is the beauty of unseen endurance. It does not need to be validated by the world to be real. The true power of your faith lies not in how quickly you can achieve or how loud your success can be, but in the quiet and consistent obedience to God's calling in your life. Endurance is the ability to remain steadfast in your trust in God, even when there is no immediate evidence of His movement in your life. It's easy to walk in faith when things are progressing as expected, when blessings are flowing and doors are opening. But the true test of faith comes in the seasons of silence, when nothing seems to be happening. These seasons are not about waiting for a breakthrough. They are about building the muscle of endurance, the ability to stand firm even when nothing moves. It is in this unseen endurance that your faith is being strengthened, molded, and made unshakable. Heaven values endurance more than it values immediate success. God does not look for quick results. He looks for those who will remain faithful in the process, who will keep walking even when they cannot see the end of the road. The beauty of unseen endurance is that it is cultivated in the quiet places, in the moments of loneliness and isolation when the world overlooks you. And it is in these moments that your character is being refined and your faith is being made stronger. You are being shaped into someone who can carry the weight of the purpose God has destined for you, and that purpose cannot be rushed. It is being prepared in the silence where the true strength of your faith is developed. What the world often sees as delay, rejection, or failure, God sees as divine redirection. The plans you have had for your life may not have gone according to your timing, and you may have faced setbacks, closed doors, and unanswered prayers. In those moments, it's easy to believe that you are being forgotten or that your faith is not being heard. But God, in His infinite wisdom, is not rejecting you. He is redirecting you towards something better, something greater than you could have ever imagined. When doors close, when relationships end, when plans fall apart, it can feel like failure. But what if these so-called failures are simply God's way of positioning you for a purpose that is greater than your own understanding? God sees the bigger picture. He knows the path that will lead you to the fulfillment of your calling. And sometimes that path requires detours, delays, and even disappointments. These are not signs that you have been overlooked. They are signs that God is guiding you towards something that will last longer, impact more people, and align more deeply with His divine plan for your life. The redirection God brings is often unseen in the moment. You may not recognize it at first, but as you look back, you will see how His hand was gently guiding you away from what was not meant for you. The no's in your life were not meant to discourage you, they were meant to protect you. God knows that the timing, the place, and the people involved in your destiny are critical to fulfilling His purpose in you. What you might have thought was rejection or a missed opportunity was actually God's mercy protecting you from something that could have hindered your growth. His redirection is not a punishment, it is a divine protection and preparation for what is coming. As you move forward, trust that God's redirection is part of the refining process. When you face closed doors or unexpected turns in your journey, do not despair. Instead, take a moment to reflect and trust that God is positioning you for something far greater than you can see right now. He is aligning the pieces of your life in ways that will soon make sense. Every setback is a setup for what's ahead. You are not being left behind. You are being repositioned for divine purpose. Heaven is not in a rush. It's preparing you for a destiny that is beyond anything you could have ever imagined. While the world may not see the growth taking place in your life, heaven sees every bit of it. Your faith is growing roots even though you can't always see them. Just like a tree grows its roots deep underground before it begins to bear fruit, your faith is being established in the hidden places of your life. Every tear, every moment of doubt, every quiet prayer whispered in solitude has been planting seeds of growth deep within you. These hidden seeds are growing into something that will bear fruit in God's perfect timing. The growth happening in your life is not always visible on the surface, but it is happening. You are being made ready for something much bigger than what the world can see right now. This hidden growth is what will sustain you in the future. You are learning to stand firm, to trust in God's plan, even when you can't see the outcome. These are the lessons that will carry you through the challenges ahead, and they are being developed in the hidden seasons of your life. God is not only refining your faith, but He is also teaching you to walk by trust and not by sight. You are learning to trust that even when nothing seems to be moving, God is still at work. The roots of your faith are growing deeper, making you stronger and more grounded in His promises. While others may rush ahead and seem to experience immediate success, you are being prepared for lasting impact. You are learning the discipline of patience, the power of waiting, and the strength that comes from enduring in silence. These lessons are preparing you to step into the fullness of your calling, but they can only be learned in the hidden places away from the spotlight and the applause of others. As your faith grows deeper, you will see that what was once hidden in the silence will soon be revealed in ways that will surprise you. The growth that has been taking place beneath the surface will eventually bear fruit, and when it does, it will be more fruitful and more impactful than you could have ever imagined. You are being shaped into someone who can carry the weight of the glory that is about to be revealed in your life. The hidden growth in your spirit is not just for you, it is for the people whose lives you are about to touch. The roots you are growing now are setting the foundation for the fruit that will bless many. The hidden power of faith lies in its ability to grow and transform in silence. The world may not see the endurance, the redirection, or the growth happening in your life, but heaven sees it all. Every act of faith, no matter how small, is building something eternal within you. Every quiet moment, every unanswered prayer, and every closed door is part of God's divine plan for you. Trust in the hidden work that is happening in your life. You are growing in ways that will soon be visible to the world, and when it is, it will be a testimony to the power of unseen faith. Continue to trust in the process, knowing that every hidden moment is leading you toward your divine purpose. As you reflect on the journey you've walked, it's important to recognize that the quiet seasons were never meant to keep you hidden forever. Though you may have felt unseen, overlooked, or abandoned at times, the truth is that you were being carefully prepared for the unveiling of a divine purpose far greater than you can imagine. The seasons of silence, the moments of waiting, and the trials you've endured were not punishment. They were preparation, preparation for a time when the fire you walk through will become the light that guides you, and the silence you endured will become the authority with which you step forward. The quiet, hidden seasons you've walked through were necessary, but they were never meant to last forever. God has been working diligently within you, shaping your heart, refining your spirit, and strengthening your faith in ways that are beyond human comprehension. As you continue to walk by faith, trusting in God's process, there will come a time when you will emerge from this period of hiddenness. But when you emerge, it will not be as the same person who entered. You will rise with a newfound divine authority, one that has been shaped by the very fire and silence you endured. You have been learning lessons that are not always visible to the human eye, lessons that cannot be rushed or manufactured. God has been preparing you in private because He knows that what He is building within you will be tested in public. The authority you will carry when the time comes to step forward will not be based on external accomplishments or worldly validation. It will be based on the depth of your faith, the strength of your character, and the quiet obedience you've shown during the unseen seasons. When you emerge from the fire, it will not be with pride or arrogance. It will be with humility, confidence, and a sense of purpose that cannot be shaken. You will have been shaped in ways that will allow you to carry the weight of your divine calling without losing your peace. You will step into your purpose with authority, not because you seek recognition, but because you have been prepared to serve in a way that only you can. The unveiling of your purpose will not be a moment of self-glorification, but of divine manifestation. What was once hidden will now be revealed, not for your fame, but for God's glory. Every setback, every delay, every closed door that you encountered along the way has been part of God's perfect design. In those moments of disappointment, it may have seemed like you were being rejected or overlooked, but the truth is that God was protecting you. He was guiding you through detours that would ultimately lead you to your destiny. What may have seemed like failure or rejection was actually divine redirection, ensuring that you were not placed in a position that was not aligned with His purpose for you. God is never late and He is never early. His timing is always perfect, and every delay serves a purpose. When doors were closed in your face, when opportunities seemed to slip away just as you thought you were ready, it was not a sign that you weren't meant for greatness. It was a sign that God had something even better in store for you. Every closed door was protecting you from a path that would not lead to your ultimate purpose. The delays you experienced were not obstacles. They were divine opportunities for God to position you exactly where you needed to be. While the world often measures success by how quickly you can achieve something, heaven measures it by how well you trust in God's timing. Every setback and delay has been an opportunity to build your trust in the process. You have learned that the waiting is not wasted time, it is sacred preparation. It has taught you patience, endurance, and trust. And now, as you step into your divine purpose, you will carry these lessons with you. You will understand that there is a time for everything, and that what may seem like a delay is simply God's way of positioning you for something greater. God's delays are not denials. They are divine appointments in disguise. Every not yet was preparing you for a yes that would be far greater than anything you had envisioned. The time you spent waiting through challenging was not in vain. It was a time of cultivation, a time of growth, and a time of preparation for the greatness that is about to unfold. The delays have been part of God's strategy to protect you, to teach you, and to position you for the unveiling of your divine significance. As you stand at the threshold of this new season, you are transitioning from a time of refinement to a time of revelation. The fire that once purified you is now the light that will guide you. The silence that once felt so heavy is now the authority that you will carry as you step into your purpose. You are moving from being hidden to being revealed, from being shaped in private to stepping out into the public eye. But as you do remember that the process of refinement was never meant to be the end of the journey, it was only the beginning. God has been refining you, but now He is revealing you. You are no longer the same person you were when you entered this season of transformation. You have grown, you have learned, and you have become stronger. You have endured the fire, and now you are ready to walk in the authority that has been cultivated in the quiet. This is your moment of divine unveiling. It is not a moment of rushing or striving. It is a moment of surrender and trust. As you step into this new season, you do so with peace, confidence, and understanding. You now know that your journey has not been in vain. You have been prepared for this moment, and you are ready to carry out the purpose that God has placed on your life. This is the culmination of all that you have endured: the fire, the silence, the waiting, the setbacks, and the delays. All of it has been leading to this point. And now as you walk forward, you walk with divine authority, knowing that everything you have been through has shaped you into someone who is equipped to fulfill the purpose that God has set before you. The transition from refinement to revelation is not just a shift in your external circumstances, it is a shift in your heart. You are stepping into a season where you no longer seek validation from the world. You no longer measure your worth by how others see you. You have learned to trust in the quiet, in the unseen, and in the stillness. And now, as you step into the fullness of your divine purpose, you do so with a heart that is fully surrendered to God's will, knowing that everything you have endured has been for a reason. As you walk into the next phase of your life, remember that the revealing of your purpose is not about fame or recognition. It is about fulfilling the calling that God has placed on your life. You are not stepping into the spotlight for your own glory. You are stepping into it to reflect the light of God. You have been refined in private, and now you are being revealed for a purpose far greater than anything you could have imagined. Your time has come, and the world will soon see the beauty and power that has been quietly cultivated in you. This is your moment of divine unveiling. Stepping into divine significance is not about rushing or striving to be seen. It is about trusting in God's perfect timing and allowing Him to reveal you when the time is right. The fire you have walked through, the silence you have endured, and the delays you have faced have all been part of God's perfect design to position you for this moment. You are now transitioning from a season of refinement to a season of revelation, where the purpose God has been preparing you for will be made known to the world. As you step into this new season, do so with peace, knowing that everything you have been through has been for this very moment. You are walking in divine authority, and your time has come. As you stand at the threshold of this new season, it's time to reflect on the journey that has brought you to this point. The path you've walked has not been easy, and there were moments when the weight of the silence, the waiting, and the unseen struggles felt unbearable. Yet here you are, stronger, wiser, and more resilient than you could have ever imagined. The quiet victory you are now stepping into is the result of a long, quiet process of endurance. It's a victory that didn't come through loud triumphs or public celebrations, but through the patient, faithful steps you took when no one was watching. The refining process you've endured has shaped you into someone who now carries the light of God into the world. Looking back, you may wonder how you made it through the moments when everything seemed to stand still. It's easy to question whether the challenges you faced, the prayers that went unanswered, and the long seasons of silence were worth it. But in truth, those very moments were the ones that shaped your spirit in ways that nothing else could have. The process of refinement, while often painful and slow, was never in vain. It was the fire that purified you, the stillness that refined your faith, and the waiting that developed your endurance. Every trial you endured, every moment you felt unseen, every prayer you whispered in the quiet was part of the grand tapestry that God was weaving for your life. What you may have thought was a waste of time Those moments when you felt stuck alone or unnoticed was actually God's way of preparing you for something greater. The time spent in silence was not a void, it was a sacred space where God was molding you, equipping you, and strengthening your spirit. He was not abandoning you in the quiet. He was making you stronger, preparing you to carry the weight of His glory and purpose into the world. You were being shaped into someone who would not just survive life's challenges, but would rise above them with grace, strength, and divine authority. The quiet victory you now experience is not a victory of sudden achievement, but a victory of quiet endurance, the kind of victory that is born not out of external success, but from the inner strength that has been built through patience, perseverance, and trust in God's plan. In the beginning, you may have felt like nothing was happening, as if the seeds you were sowing in the quiet were never going to sprout. But now, as you look back, you can see that every moment of stillness was actually a time of hidden growth. What once seemed unnoticed and insignificant was actually the foundation of the strength and purpose you now carry. The growth that has taken place in your heart and your spirit was not for others to see, but for you to become the person God destined you to be. The strength you now have was not gained in the spotlight, it was gained in the shadows, in the moments when you remained faithful and obedient without seeing the fruit of your labor. This unseen growth is now the very source of your strength. It is the quiet endurance that has built your character, the unseen faith that has deepened your trust in God, and the hidden perseverance that has shaped your purpose. The world may not have seen the struggle, but God saw every step you took. Every prayer you whispered, every decision you made to stand firm when everything seemed to fall apart, every moment you chose faith over fear, God saw it all. And now that hidden growth is being revealed as the foundation of your divine purpose. What was once considered insignificant is now the source of your strength. The endurance, the lessons, and the trust you cultivated in private are now the very things that will carry you into the next season of your life. Now, as you emerge from this season of silence, you are called to step forward with confidence, knowing that the transformation you have experienced has prepared you for something far greater than you could have ever imagined. The path ahead may not always be easy, and there will be challenges yet to face, but you are no longer the person who entered the quiet seasons. You have been shaped, refined, and strengthened. You carry with you a light that has been cultivated in the silence, a strength that has been built through the fire, and a purpose that has been forged through endurance. This is not the end of your journey, but the beginning of something new. The time of refinement is complete, and now you are ready to step into the fullness of your divine purpose. You are no longer waiting for the door to open. You are stepping forward, knowing that God has already prepared the way for you. The light that you carry, the strength that you've built, and the faith that you've nurtured in the quiet will now be revealed to the world. The world may have overlooked you in the past, but now as you step forward, you will walk in divine authority and purpose. The quiet seasons were not meant to keep you hidden. They were meant to prepare you for the moment when you would step into your destiny with confidence, grace, and unshakable faith. God has been preparing you for this moment, the moment when your purpose will be revealed to the world. You may have wondered if you would ever see the fulfillment of the promises He gave you. But now, with every step you take, you are walking into the manifestation of those promises. You are stepping forward into divine significance, knowing that you have been refined, shaped, and positioned for a purpose that will impact the world around you. As you step forward, do so with confidence. Know that the process was not in vain. The quiet victories, the unseen growth, and the endurance you've cultivated in the silence have all led to this moment. You are ready. You are equipped. You are chosen. This is the beginning of the divine purpose that has been unfolding in your life all along. Walk forward with peace, knowing that you are stepping into the fullness of what God has prepared for you. You have emerged from the silence, and now the world will see the light that you carry.